we do it. Where you catch us that we be in that pulpit. Always catch a vibe, we a movement. You should just subscribe because we too lit. They want that podcast, yeah, they want that podcast. They want that podcast, yeah, they want that podcast. They want that podcast, yeah, they want that podcast. They want that podcast, watch them scream out, ah, yeah. We live intentional, cause years fly by and come quickly.
Come quickly.
It's the Pulpit Podcast, baby. Season 4, episode 150.
Yeah.
It's that man with the plan, Big Kev. And that's cuz with the buzz, Big Bo.
Yo.
You know, we got that food for you. So, for sure. Now, you know we gotta do a disclaimer. Like I said before, the disclaimer is so needed just when you tackle certain topics, you know. Like, we have such an open base and we leave nothing untouched or unscathed. It's like,
all right.
Hey, we just letting you know we run the gambit. So
we run the gambit,
you
baby.
never know what you're gonna hear from episode to episode.
Oh, yeah.
So
minute to minute.
this disclaimer is just letting you know what it is and what it ain't. So without further ado, the Pulpit Podcast is not a gospel or religious podcast.
Say it once more.
I said, you know, I got to do it. I said, the Pulpit Podcast is not a gospel or religious podcast, but we are bringing the gospel in the form of information straight like that. And y'all know, this podcast is based on the foundation of positivity, motivation, inspiration, and most importantly, love. So we don't do anything without a weekly affirmation, and I got something for us. Message: stay away from negative people. They have a problem for every solution. Think about it. Think about it. Like negative people, like you got a solution. Hey, you know what? I got a problem to match that. Because they live in a world of pessimistic, you know what I'm saying, mindsets.
I don't even want to talk about the guy, but I try to stay away from it. I got to work with one 12 hours a day. It's horrible.
It's bad. You know, it's draining.
Man.
To have somebody just sit there and always be pessimistic, and so you don't think nothing's good. So you don't think no good outcomes could ever come about anything.
I almost want to cuss him out. He went on vacation, which was a good week. It was a great week.
Great
so
week.
He comes back, and our HR lady comes up, and she was like, so how was the trip? Oh, it was a terrible ride coming back. You know, 65. I'm sitting there like, you prick. That's what you gonna talk about?
Right, you need to talk about the joyous moments of the vacation. Like, seriously.
I even said to I'm like, you a damn prick. So then she's like, so she immediately was like, oh, I'm sorry you had a terrible trip. He's like, oh no, my trip was great.
So why you lead off with the negativity?
Yeah.
Weirdo.
Yeah.
Like they don't know how to converse.
You could have been like, oh, we went by the beach, we got some fresh seafood.
Now you could say that funny thing that happened, like with my trip.
But coming up was terrible. You know.
Like my trip. I told you what was bad, but I also told you what was good.
Yeah, told you the pluses. He gave you the pluses and then like check
it all better, but this
and then check this out.
I gotta let you know. I gotta give you the whole fold now. So but if somebody was a co-worker, they don't need to know that. You know what I'm saying? I'd have just said, yeah, the trip was cool. I needed it, you know what I'm saying, to get away for a minute. You ain't got to tell them all the intricacies of it. Just tell them.
Break it down.
Hey, you know,
that's right.
I need to get away. But you have people in this world that are very, very pessimistic.
Just negative.
And they are energy drainers. And they will always have a problem for every solution. It's as simple as that. So think about that one. All right, so cuz we got some good stuff to talk about today. You know what I'm saying? It might be short and brief, but it's going to be sweet.
Let's get it.
Here we go. Do millennials and Gen Z have an unrealistic expectation on happiness?
On happiness.
On happiness.
I mean, that's everybody. That's from the baby boomers to the baby boomers. They up there now, so they done did what they done did.
Super
and then our generation comes in. I really think Generation X might as well be called Generation Hippies.
Generation Hippies, they going back. So they revert.
I mean, it's just our generation. Maybe it's because a lot of our parents were kind of hippies at the time.
Pretty much.
We're a little about our business, but like really to ourselves more, and kind of like learn how to create our own happinesses. The millennials, I think part of the reason they became more, it seemed like more socially intelligent.
Yeah.
Because I think, you know,
And socially aware.
The music really, like MTV rocked the vote.
Yeah.
You know, say you 6 years old and you're watching, you know, growing up and just keeping it on MTV. You're gonna be somebody that's gonna gravitate no more about what's going on in politics, what's going on
Based on that influence of
because you
music.
know, like I said, we were hippies. We didn't have that.
True.
We you know, they're hearing about, you know, stuff going on with all the President Reagan getting shot. You might have just happened to just turn on,
You
been
seen
in
it,
the room
but you
on
wasn't.
CBS.
Yeah, you wasn't
As
up to date on it.
as a 5-year-old, you wasn't like you just happened to be in the room and your mama watching the news. Whereas these guys was like getting knowledgeable
or
every
was it
day.
something that you was taught in school. You was
Yeah.
just taught, but you really didn't. Really
Now we was taught with the high school, but a lot
Yeah.
of people didn't get to those type of classes in high
True
school.
that,
That's a
true
different
that.
story. And Generation Z, the thing I will say about them, you know, especially having a couple Generation Z, they are more emotionally intelligent. And that's a good and bad thing because they can really use their feelings to play against like doing natural adult shit like you're supposed to do.
Yeah.
Like just go to work. They can really use their feelings into like, well, I can't work because I'm uncomfortable.
Yeah.
You know, different things. It's kind of hard to figure out who knows how to find happiness.
Yeah.
I think the older you are, you're able to find happiness, or you know what happiness is. Whereas like the younger, you're trying to figure it out.
So that's basically you proving the point. Then they have unrealistic expectation because they don't know what happiness is. They haven't figured out it. So you do, if you don't know what it is, how can you expect something? So I would just say this: the millennials and Gen Z, I believe, like both said, I think the emotional intelligence also leads to a weakness because a lot of things that they go through was normal for us. You know what I'm saying? That built character, that built strength to deal with those emotional hurdles that they face, you know what I'm saying, as well. Like, for example, they call it bullying in school. When we was in school, it was called joning and coming up and learning how to handle your business as a man or a woman. And that was the coming of age knocks that you take.
Yeah.
It wasn't like, oh, I'm just going to tell my mama and they need to boycott this school because they're not doing such about such and such bully. Nah, you either punch the bully in the face or you learn how to roast back. That's how it was.
And if you could do both, boy, you're exceptional. Hey, you can roast them
They
and
don't mess with you no more.
Oh, no.
And that's what the key was. This generation wants to hop on TikTok and start hashtags, you know what I'm saying, no cyberbullying, da-da-da-da, because it's a different world. So to me, I feel like that shelter that parents provided for the millennials and the Gen Zs is basically where they have that emotional intelligence, but also have that more softness to them, you know what I'm saying, about how they go through life and how they deal with life problems. Also, that era is a sedated era. And so they love to party. They love to have their drugs. And when you do that, you're not in the right mindset to deal with the world the way it is and how it should be. They come with a mindset, hey, these are my rights, and you guys are going to respect them. That ain't how it goes.
It don't work like that.
It don't work like that. But when you're sedated and you only think that it's right or, you know what I'm saying, wrong, and you don't see the gray areas in life, that's when you get in the situation. And if you pay attention to, most Gen Z or millennials be in situations, don't understand why they're in that situation, and swear it should be different. We look at them like,
hey, I knew I fucked up.
We look at them like, hey, you driving without a license and you've been drinking and you black, most likely something bad gonna happen that night. You either going to jail for a minute, you're gonna have some stuff on your license, or you're gonna meet that wrong cop that night who might do something to you. But us, we be like, nah, we know what's gonna happen, so we play it a little bit smarter. And I think that's just the difference between them. So I do think it's an unrealistic expectation because they haven't found themselves. Their thought processing is totally different about how to get to happiness too. Like, you know, they let a lot of things get to them that we didn't. You know what I'm saying? Because of how we was growing up. Like I told Bo, we was talking about one day, we used to walk the streets like, I'm talking about 13 years of age. We was walking the streets, you know what I'm saying? Just walking the streets at nighttime. My parents were strict, but still that was the thing because everybody was doing it, so we wasn't scared of life. These kids nowadays,
They be like, you would walk where?
walk where? Walk where? You want me to walk to the store? No,
Man, we would walk miles.
We would walk miles, hop on our bike, and go. I remember one time I went about 20, 30 minutes away from the house. I'm talking about 20 miles on my bike, feel me? And the only thing sucked when I went over somebody's house.
You dare to make me want to think the farthest I done went on my damn bike.
Bro, I done took some trips, some scenic route trips to the through that town.
Because I used to think riding over to grandma's was a big trip, but that really wasn't. That really
around your house.
Now that I think about it, that's really about a mile. You know, you just gotta go over.
I went from here. I went from Mama's house to Arlington. I had a buddy over there. He was like, "Hey, you want to come over?" Yeah, like I'm not asking my mama. She ain't even here. Hop on that bike. I'm going to kick over his house for what's called. The only thing that sucks when you get about 7 o'clock, 8 o'clock, the sun start going down. Like shit, I gotta ride back because you didn't really ask to go over there. So now you ain't about to say, "Mama, come get me and put my bike in the truck." She'll be like, "You better get back how you got over there." So it's like,
now I remember when I walked to Pleasant Run, I missed the bus and walked to school.
Ooh, that's a nice little walk.
Yeah, that was a good. Hey man, but picture being okay. I had to be about 11 because I was about 6th grade.
Mm-hmm.
And I got to 21st and Shaylin, trying to cross that street. I'm like, oh my, I'm about to get my ass, man.
Yeah, you about to get over. The thing about it is
and this is back in the 80s too.
It was so daunting about crossing the street back in the day on certain street. I'm in 38th Street. That was the street for me.
38th Street.
I always had to cross 38th Street to get over my guy's house. But I swear, 38th Street looked like it was the most busiest street ever when you trying to cross it. Because he's like, whoo.
Hey, nah,
like Frogger. I was like, I don't want to be Frogger.
We used to put the Jets on running across 38th Street. Go, pew.
Hey, it didn't like people was gonna stop. It looked like people didn't know the rules and regulations about pedestrians.
But as a kid, it's like, go. We was running across 38th Street.
We are jaywalking. It probably is against the law how we were crossing the street because it was like a section where if the break happened, I think it was for your own intentional purposes. But back then, as a kid, you like, wherever I'm
I'm trying to get over Terry's. I'm trying to get to Burger King. You know what I'm saying?
Wherever I cross, I'm crossing. And they ain't paying no attention to the guidelines and rules. But I do just think. Go ahead.
I was about to say, I was just thinking of 38th Street places I had to walk across the Moore's Barbershop.
Yeah, yep.
Yeah, I had to go over there to go get the fade. Had to go walk across 38th Street. Church's Chicken right there. Oh, God. Good living.
Taking it back, taking it back. But that's what I'm saying. We were seasoned by life. You know what I'm saying? Like, that's my whole point is like, it's saying that our mindsets were different based on how we were raised. Their mindsets are different based on how they were raised. People started to get into that shelter phase, like, I don't want my child to go through what I went through, right? Or this is the time we live in and they different. Like, my mom was talking about one time, like, she was saying that times are harder now and they're more dangerous. I said, I don't think so because I ain't never seen no serial murder taking kids away in the last umpteen years. They had Atlanta child murder was just killing kids. Like, I ain't seen nothing like that. But the problem is we have social media and all these outlets and these platforms on our phones and recording devices that all the news of every state and city get next to everybody in like that. Back in the day, you had to read a newspaper to find out what was going on in somebody's city.
Or it's got to be like
broadcast on news.
It's got to be like a super tragedy.
Yeah.
Where it's got to become a national news type thing.
Strangler and
Son
of Sam
you know
and
what?
Stuff like that.
If John Benet Ramsey was actually her name was let's say Janae Bridget Ronald, we would have never heard about her.
Yeah. It wouldn't have been viable for news.
Yeah, we would have never heard about her.
But you got this cute white girl, blue-eyed white girl.
What's she like a debutante little thing?
Debutante pageant, young lady. It's story bound.
Man, all
the
day
news
and day.
definitely only takes the story for what's going to make them have followers, clicks, and ratings. Back then it was ratings, not follows and clicks. Now it's the same thing, but it's just called likes and follows and clicks or whatever. But that's like, you know what I'm saying? But yeah, that's one thing I noticed about millennials and Gen Z. That was just my thought on that. But y'all let us know what y'all think about that as well.
See, these millennials and Gen Zers don't know what happiness is. Happiness is getting a fresh fade at Brother Moore's barbershop and then walking right across the parking lot and getting a 2-piece and some hot bombers. That's happiness.
That's heaven. That's your slice of heaven. Everybody has a slice of heaven.
Hey, shoot.
Yeah, our slices of heaven were totally different. Our slice of heaven might be getting together on a Saturday, all the cousins, and we know we're going to go do some mischief.
Like Final Four last night.
Mhm.
You know, we would either be your house over BJ and Patrick or at my house,
Watching it.
cooking a
and
tombstone,
enjoying it,
cooking some Tostitos pieces, eating some
Not
Doritos.
order pizza.
No,
We get
not
the
for
frozen
that.
joints.
Yeah, we cooking them the dollar
Tombstone, Tostitos.
Tostitos. Yeah, we cooking about like 4 or 5 of them.
Yeah, some
Get
pizza
you-
rolls.
Hey, take one out the oven. Hey, we eat
Put
this,
another
start
one
putting
in,
another one
yup.
right back in.
Yep.
Watching the Final Four. Hey, that's what we
Hey.
was on, man.
That's the slice of happiness. And that's the thing about
Serious.
everybody's slice of happiness is different. It's
Hey,
changed
that's
over
when we start
time.
calling your shoes Scud Missiles. Because you had the dope mans.
I had
It was
them dope
Final
mans.
Four.
If y'all don't know
Yeah.
what dope mans is, that's taking it back too. Them is Nike
Yeah.
Cortez. You know, they call them dope men because all the dope men pretty much.
I mean,
won.
yeah, he's on the block. You know,
He's on
that's
the
how he was
block.
getting it. Yeah, they was out there. Yeah.
They're the equivalent of what y'all would call black Air Force Ones, basically, almost. It's like, you look like you were putting in work when you put these shoes on.
Man.
But I only had them shoes because, hell, that's the only thing that would fit my feet at the time. Like, yeah, I don't know these struggles I've been through about my feet. Like, for real, like,
Hey.
being at 15 is not
Nah,
fun.
no, you wasn't even 15 yet. This is like 1990 because we didn't know nothing about Scud Missiles because it was a war going on. It was like this is about like 1990.
Well, I mean, I had 15 for a long time. I'm like,
Yeah,
12
you
or
was probably
13.
like 12.
Yeah, 12 or 13. I've been at 15 to 16 for the longest,
we
bro.
was watching the Final
Pick
Four.
my big ass shoe up.
Somebody, who's Scud Missiles?
Hey, they still do that shit now. Like, if somebody come over to the house and see my shoes, like, whose shoes are these? Like, mine? It's like 2 people's feet. Nah, stop the jokes. Stop the jokes. You ain't gonna be climbing on my feet.
Who said, was it Mikey or me to call them Scud Missiles?
One of y'all. You know, and somebody always coming up with jokes.
Like,
Probably
who's
was Micah.
Scud Missiles?
Probably was Micah. You know, he always got something to say.
Yeah, it might have had, it had to be little bro.
All right, so here's a funny one. This is gonna put on your thinking cap. You know what I'm saying? I don't know, so I'm gonna take a different route. But do you still remember your kindergarten teacher's name?
Man, I don't even remember my kindergarten, what they even look like.
Dude, I don't remember the kindergarten.
I was too busy staring at Don Harvey.
Don Harvey.
yeah, I wasn't paying attention to shit. Man, you know what?
The first girl me and Cuz basically liked at the same time.
Yeah.
Had a crush on her.
Yeah, now everybody had a crush on it. It wasn't even just me and you. It was everybody had a crush on it.
I can't speak for them niggas. I was talking about me and you. I know
we
what the
definitely did.
dynamic.
But nah. I can't remember kindergarten, but like I can remember damn near all my elementary.
Okay.
First grade, Miss Moran. Second grade, Miss Clark. Third grade, Miss Ferris. She passed away in the fire. She's a sister. Had a curl, smoked cigarettes. You could tell she smoked weed too because her lips. Back in the days, you don't know, but like as a grown up, you know,
You
like
realize
I'm like, dang, I wish I could see Miss Ferris, but she died in a fire. I want to say, early 2000s. It's probably like 2001, 2002. Fourth grade, Miss Black. Fifth grade, Miss Rosenbrock. Sixth grade, Miss Hess. And then Mr. Wilhelm, he was the other sixth grade teacher. He ended up being at Stony Brook. Mr. Kennedy, my science teacher at Stony Brook. Miss Knox, she was my black English teacher that stayed on my head and kept me straight. Yeah, I love you, Miss Knox. And she actually got to teach my daughter. She was still at Stony Brook when my daughter was there. So that was a truth right there. Then it starts to go down after that. It's like I remember all these faces, but I was like, damn, I can't.
So mine is always remember because it's been an unbelievable moment, or they did something illegal, or I did something illegal, or deemed it need some discipline from it. So one, I'll never forget, it was my, I want to say junior high, it was my art teacher. And I just remember him because he was an old black dude named Mr. Langford. And he always would use like 70 slang. He was like, You out there with them 38th Street punks smoking them happy sticks. Y'all don't come in here to learn, y'all. And every time he said, everybody just be rolling like, what the hell's a happy stick?
He said smoking them
and
happy
my dad,
sticks.
he's like, nah, that's the old school term for a joint. You know what I'm saying? Like,
Smoking
y'all
them
just
happy
smoking them happy sticks. And he's matter of fact, he sound like Cleveland Brown from them cartoon, whatever. He be like, I'm Cleveland Brown. That's how he was taught. And I was just
You talking about Family Guy Cleveland?
yeah, Cleveland.
Oh, damn.
Bro, he's like, smoking them happy sticks. He sound just like him. I used to roll. So then we go to freshman year. Freshman year, I had a few teachers, and I went to Arlington High School, you know what I'm saying? And that's a wild place in general, you know what I'm saying? At that time, for real. If you know, look it up. It's definitely in the news for something. Anybody could find footage on Arlington.
Yeah, there was a couple stabbings.
So, yeah, we had a couple
in high school.
situations out there, kind of violent. So, I had a teacher. One was Mr. Lee. It was my English teacher. It was a white dude. He reminded me of Benny Hill. Y'all know what Benny Hill is? Check him out. But he reminded me of Benny Hill. He always had a cup. And he basically was like Lil Wayne before Lil Wayne, because I would always be like, Mr. Lee, hey, what you got in that cup? And he would just always give me a little laugh, you know what I'm saying? And he was like, coffee is the way of the world. And I'm like, coffee ain't that good. This man is lit. Now as I got older, like Bo said, you started to see them subtleties and them signs. Like, this man was lit in there. He was drunk every day. That's why he was loving teaching us, because he don't give a fuck. He, you know what I'm saying? He ain't even here, really. And then I had another teacher named Billy Benford. I'll never forget. He reminded me of Aaron Hall. He had a box like that, a curly box, and he taught earth science. He knew what he was talking in earth science, and everybody loved him because, you know, he was a good teacher. He knew what he was doing. But we get out of school at 2:30, class is dismissed, you hit the bus, you loading up by 2:45. When the bus is driving past, we have a place called Devonton Plaza that's right next to the school. And when the bus is driving past, we literally would see his little, it was like a royal blue or teal, like Pontiac something, was at the LQ every day. He was lit too. I'm just like,
You talking about before y'all went to school or?
After school.
Oh, okay, after school. Okay.
Like, you couldn't wait, bro. You couldn't.
Nah, he went
like,
straight
he went, like, we done got on his nerves so bad or something that he needed that little shot instantly. But we always be like, Billy, we seen you at the LQ. Like, mind y'all damn business. Like, so that's grown folk business. Mind your business. But those type of things, that's what I said, that goes along with the millennials and Gen Z. Teachers back then were more personable, you know what I'm saying, than these teachers, I think now.
I'm just, our art teacher in elementary school, I cannot remember her name. The way she looked, she kind of looked like Big Bird. But she was a for real hippie. She was a hippie.
Yeah, I can see that.
Why was she the head of the Just Say No program?
Just say no.
And she,
I remember that program.
But she really was like stoned.
Yeah, she's like the wrong.
But hey, we needed that
great
because
message, wrong messenger.
hey, because you know, and that crack era came in. If we didn't have that Just Say No program, that Just Say No program.
I was in the Just Say No program.
We all was in it because I think ours was called
we had to make
Pepper
them damn
Club.
posters and stuff.
I think we was called Pepper Club.
I can't remember the name.
It was
of
something
but
like
yeah,
that.
Everybody was in that. Boy,
Just
they was
say no.
promoting not the use of drugs, and look what happened. But anyway,
It could have been worse, man.
it could have been worse.
It could have been
worse.
Hey, if they didn't have them Just Say No programs, hey, we would have been out here on that crack.
And then I had like two other teachers. I had a teacher that taught journalism. You know, I tried to get into journalism. I like the idea of, you know, researching and, you know what I'm saying, being able to use your voice, you know what I'm saying, about whatever's going on in the world. So I took up journalism. But the problem is I took up journalism with a whole bunch of seniors who this is an elective. Pretty much they don't even need it, you know what I'm saying? But I'm in here, they climbing around, you know, you in your freshman year, you trying to get some footing, you know what I'm saying, some ground as a man, you know what I'm saying, in there or whatever. And so I'm climbing with them. So one day, we all in the back. I mean, we had a table. It's all three of us, you know, God rest his soul, Kyrie was my guy, you know what I'm saying, Mikey. These are my guys, they seniors, you know what I'm saying, they taking me under their wing. But I remember we all was at the table, we joking, we just making noise, right? And she was like, oh, so you guys are so intelligent back there or something like that, you know, just throwing a little shot. And with me, when a teacher steps out of place like that or out of pocket, you you know, I would take that as a super slight, like, bitch, I'm smart. What you talking to? And so but what I would do is I knew how to be condescending back then. You know what I'm saying? So I was like, hey, my intelligence is hanging low, and when you want it, let me know. And so everybody started laughing. They was like, Kev, you silly. And everybody, you know, high-fiving, you know what I'm saying? And you feeling you on cloud nine. But what she does is basically give me a referral. Y'all don't know what them is, referrals back in the day. Roll me up a referral, and she put sexual harassment. And then when I got down to the office, you know, say to see the dean, he was like, this ain't sexual harassment, but Kev, you cannot talk to people like that. I'm like, man, she shouldn't have said what she said. But he was trying to give me the game, like as a black man talking to a white woman like that, it was almost like Emmett Till type thing. As a black man talking to a white woman like that, your rights don't matter in that situation. If she wanted to take it further, all you are is this big black dude, whether it be a freshman or not. She felt in fear of whatever, and that's what she gonna roll it with. And I was like, okay, I gotta watch what I say. I can't just say what I feel because I feel it. You feel me?
You gotta have a Jimmy the Cricket.
Yeah, and then I had my Spanish culture teacher. That was fun. She used to call me. She said, Kevin, what name? I don't know how I came up with this. She was like, you know how you go to that class and they give you different names?
Yeah.
Be like, what name? I said, I want to be Enrique. Enrique. And she'd be like, I'll be talking regular. She'd be like, Enrique. Habla español. I was like, what?
Yeah, I went on and took Esteban.
Esteban?
Yeah. Even though Enrique is really my name.
Yeah.
But I was like, I took Esteban.
I just like the way Enrique sounded at that time. I just rolled with it. She didn't even like give us names. I was like, I want to be Enrique. I didn't even know if it was Spanish or not. I just want to be Enrique, this motherfucker. Just give me Enrique. All right. So, Big Bo, it's been a while.
Whoa.
Need some Big Bo thoughts. What we got?
Big Bo's thoughts. Oh, this is random. You know, for people who like to, you know, say anything to people, you know, whatever it might be, you know, you're getting something off your chest, or you're venting something, or you have an opinion about this person, and you tell this person, however they react, you need to go ahead and accept it. You can't play the victim if they react the way that you don't want them to react. If they react the way that you didn't think that they was going to react this way. And if they react that way, hey, it is what it is. You open up the book for it.
But really, how are you going to determine how somebody should respond to your reaction? You know what I'm saying?
So I'm saying don't play the victim.
Don't play the victim.
You know? And it's vice versa too. Even for me, if I say something,
if you jump out the window
and somebody's reaction, I you know, if they go hammer time or go nuts, it's like, all right.
But the thing is, I always said this, like to correlate with that. I've always said, for example, like I'm not a touchy, feely, playful guy. Like you might want to push on people, hit people. You know what I'm saying? Touch them, whatever. No, don't do that with me. I'm letting you know that I'm not that type of person. So it's like, if you was willing to me and just punch me in my arm, okay. I just told you I wasn't the touchy-feely type of guy. So now if you hit me in my arm, but I hit you in your face, can't nobody tell me that I'm wrong. Like, I told you don't come in, no matter how extreme it may be to you, I told you don't touch me, and you feel like you could disrespect me and just go bypass what I said. Well, guess what? Now I got to show you why I told you don't touch me. I'm about to teach you. That's how it is. Like for example, if Will Smith slapped Chris Rock and Chris Rock punched Will Smith, you can't say the punch wasn't like, you should have just slapped him back. You can't tell me what I'm gonna do when I respond back. You can't. For real. So if you said, hey, you need to do this, and then you get cussed out about it.
Oh no, you ain't got to get cussed out. You can.
I'm just saying, if you do though, you can't get mad about it.
Somebody can actually read you, write you, and present some real actual facts.
Yeah.
On what's going on. And then feel some type of way.
Yeah.
You present them actual facts.
Facts. Boy.
And then feel some type of way.
Boy.
So my opinion is almost, I ain't gonna say opinion, this is more of a statement.
Yeah.
Fuck your thoughts.
Ooh-wee. Like, fuck your couch, nigga. Fuck your thoughts.
Now I'm thinking, what's the one dude, Minister X? The dude,
I know what you're talking about.
Fuck your thoughts.
Fuck your thoughts.
Like, nah, I mean, Yeah.
Yeah.
Ask a question.
Yeah, that's what you should do. Don't demand. Don't just put it out there as a broad
say you
statement.
need
Ask
to
a
do
question.
this. What?
Like, what's going on, G? Like, what you got going on? How's life treating you? Just really like delving into a person. If you feel inclined to even know that type of stuff, that's what you should do.
I'm gonna tell you, tell me I need to do. Only thing I need to do is stay black and take care of my kids.
Stay black and die. That's my dad used to say all the time. I need to
stay black and take care of my
kids.
kids.
The other day, you say all the time. He's like, all I need to do is stay black and die.
Nah, I ain't thinking that way.
Like you really got to do. When you think about that saying, like you really got a choice of staying black.
Yeah, but hey.
I mean, God made you that way. There's no way turning back from that.
Yeah, that's what I'm saying. But stay black and take care. Take care of my kids.
Is like doing like for a black person that's not being Uncle Tom or something like that. That's why.
Not back in the days. Yeah, but yeah.
Okay, so Bo, one thing I was chopping up in the barbershop this weekend, right? And me and this dude, he probably like a little younger. We was just chopping up about hip hop, right? And he was asking about like the Nas, he was asking about the Jay-Z and Drake.
How young is this?
He's probably like 30 something. So he's like a little bit what you call it. And he was just talking, music came on, right? And he was like, so y'all think Kendrick is really like influential, you know what I'm saying? Like in the sense of like he really touched people or whatever. And he's like, are like those conscious rappers. And I said, Kendrick is everything, really.
Yeah.
Like, you know, and he was like, dude, he was like, the Drake song came on. My boy Josh was playing, the Drake song came on.
Oh,
right?
that No Kill.
Hell no, I don't want to listen to that. But he was playing old school Drake, you know what I'm saying?
Okay.
You know, we was just talking about, and I was just schooling them on stuff like, y'all don't understand, like, Nas and certain people like that, right? Like, you have to have a certain thought process to listen to certain rappers, right? Because they're not trying to make the pop hit record. When they get a beat, they're not getting the beat that the whole mass is going to love, you know what I'm saying, everybody going to dance to. They're getting the beat that's going to present their message.
It goes to the heads. It's for them, the hip-hop heads.
For real? No, I was like, no, check out it. I was like, and plus you have to have an opening in your mind to really appreciate a Nas. Because the GMC's dropping, if you don't have that thought process and cap on, it's going to sound like, you know what I'm saying?
It takes certain younger kids, for me, to see them, because I can see a younger kid who cannot get into an old Nas whatsoever. It's just by because the music that they just came up on, I can see them just not.
Right, that's what I'm saying.
Not be able
open to that thought process.
Whereas like, I have nephews, the way that they were raised and the way their ear was trained.
Their daddy with his music.
You know what I'm saying?
Yeah.
Where they hear they bump a Nas.
Facts.
So like it's kind of like how they was raised and what they was around.
True.
To develop an ear, because like if you don't have a developed ear, you can't listen to Illmatic. You have to have a certain mindset to listen to Illmatic.
That's what I'm saying, because it's just like with us, right? And that's why I tell you, like, I listen to everything.
Like if you I just want to dance and
if you have
you ain't gonna be able to listen to Illmatic.
If you have a closed-minded mindset about hip hop in general, then you're not gonna like some of these conscious rappers. You're not gonna like some of the straight found.
Illmatic is just bars. I wouldn't call it conscious rapper. It's bars.
Some people, they don't want to hear the bars. So I'm saying, so it's like, and they might not think they bars to the way they think they are bars now, right? Like the way he's rapping, he's doing a lot of decoding, you know what I'm saying? And encoding, like you got to really pay attention and be up on your game. Yeah. So, but then he was like, well, who's your favorite rapper? You know what I'm saying? And I like having conversations. Like, I'm waiting. My barber takes forever, so I'm waiting. Might as well have a conversation. But with having with younger people, it's good to see perspectives. I'm big on perspectives. Uncle OG has put us more on perspective and understanding different people's perspectives. And I was like, to be honest with you, Jay-Z's my favorite rapper. And in all the midst of everything, you want to know why? Because Jay-Z is adaptable. Jay-Z can be a grown man, but still make a bop. That means you're adapting. And then Jay-Z has everything you want. He sold multiple records. He's won multiple awards. He sold out multiple tours. He's made unbelievable business ventures and has prospered off his business decision-making skill and acumen. And Jay-Z has been with all type of rappers all across the genre, and he has definitely stayed in Jay-Z's lane.
I mean, hey.
You don't see Jay-Z sagging his pants and wearing skinny jeans and, you know what I'm saying, and doing things that you would deem more of the young folks. He's a grown man in everything he does, and I've always respected that. You know what I'm saying? I like Nas. Nas the same way. You don't see Nas losing himself pretty much, except he had that shorty OE for Ice, but that was a mishap, you know what I'm saying, a lacking judgment on that record. But other than that, Nas been pretty much, you know what I'm saying,
He
even
do his
kill the
thing.
same thing. Eminem, like Eminem is the Eminem from the gate. If anything, he's grown, you know what I'm saying, in
Yeah.
what he talks about.
Yeah.
So, you know, that's just a note to rappers coming up. Like, you got to expand, even from album to album, because guess what? So in that year or that two before you drop the next one, something happened. Something happened that made you have a maturation somewhere.
And sometimes too, the game changes too.
The game changes. Boy, it changes all the time. Really, it's forever evolving. All right, so what else we got? All right, we go ahead and get into sports entertainment. March Madness is going on.
Final Four. Hey, that Duke,
Duke and
Houston. I mean, it was a good game. Hey, man,
very good game.
I can't say Duke all the way fell apart. Because, you know, Houston was D'ing them up, but there were some mistakes made.
Self-destruct, G. I say self-destruct only because, yeah, Houston D'd them up to get back into the game, but they were up 6 points with 37 seconds. You should be able to inbound the ball, and you should be able to hit a 1-and-1 until you get to the bonus. And they did neither. They did everything possible wrong that you could have done.
Missed the free throw. Didn't turn the ball over.
Cooper Flag missed the last second shot, but he was balling.
I know.
The whole game, he was balling. And to the NBA, he's going to be a problem. His handle is nice. 6'9", being 6'9" with a handle and can being able to shoot is always going to make you a problem. I'm just telling you. Because you're going to get mismatches in the NBA because of that. All they do is switch pick and rolls. So you're going to always get a mismatch to get at least about 10, 15 points just off that mismatch. And if you get going and he going to keep on working on this game, he going to be a problem, G. I watch this game. Then you have, who else? Who are they going against? Florida.
Oh, yeah, Florida, Auburn.
Yeah, Florida, Auburn. That was a good game as well. I told you that Clayton Jr., boy. Walter Clayton Jr. is a problem. He had 38, I think, yesterday.
Is that what he had? Damn.
I think so, bro. He is a problem. Little bitty dude, but he's a problem. And we're going to see. I mean, now I think Florida's going to win now. I want to see them versus Duke because I thought it was a better matchup. But I think...
man, you know what? This is real fucked up for Indiana fans. I kind of want to see Kelvin Sampson win this.
Okay, because... Okay. Ain't nothing wrong with that.
I don't know what it is. I've been watching him coach even before he got to IU and fucked up. You know, he's at Oklahoma. He was making something out of nothing teams and getting teams to, you know, Final Fours and he was doing some stuff at Oklahoma. Like, all right, got the IU gig, fucked it all up, and then worked his way back. And the way Houston's played, and this is something I look at as far as coaching, is how they make. It's not like, oh, they got a great player or they got a great couple, or they got a great recruiting class, and that's why they was good.
Right.
He's been consistent. He's consistently had like the top defensive team for damn near like the past 6-7 years, consistently.
I agree with that.
Well, they was in the Final Four, was it 2 years ago?
I think so, something like that.
So, Kelvin Sampson is showing that he can coach.
He definitely can coach.
You know, regardless of that, he got out of bounds and he was doing some, but he's showing that he can coach.
Yeah. So.
And so I'm
kind of a good game.
It should be, but I know I'm gonna be at work, but yeah, I think I'm going with Houston, man. I think I want to see them. I'm not gonna say they're gonna win. I'm saying I think I'm back in the days. I love Florida because you know Donovan and everything. But I don't know. I just kind of Kelvin Sampson, what he's done, what he done went through, and how he done brought this team back to Yeah, okay.
I can see. I mean, it's always just a good game. The only two like on the ladies' side is UConn versus South Carolina.
Is that today?
No, I think it might be today. I know theirs is before. I know they've already established that it could be today. Because that's national championship normally on Sunday. And then they do the men on Monday.
Yeah.
So it probably is tonight.
Okay.
So we'll see
Yeah.
him check out. See, I think UConn just might upset them just for the way UConn is playing. I didn't think UConn was going to do UCLA like that. And they beat them by 20, 30 points. And UCLA was a top team. So that kind of made me think, well, maybe it's UConn year this year. But, Don, you never count out Coach Staley. So we will see about that. What else? Okay, well, I will say about this. I did see on Club Shay Shay, the Damon Wayans interview, and I think y'all definitely should tune into that. We always know Damon Wayans for the jokes, their family for the jokes, but he gave a great interview on a lot of things in life and just realism, you know what I'm saying, of what he was saying. Like he was talking about, one thing I kind of stuck with me, he was talking about Kanye, he was talking about the crazy boy, what's his name? Orlando Brown. And he was talking about them, and he was just like, well, do you have, Shannon was asking him, like, do you have a relationship with them? He said, I don't have a relationship with them. He said, but I want y'all to understand. These are talented individuals who have issues that we laugh and we joke about, but no, they have real mental health issues that they need somebody who they respect, if that person is anywhere in their life, can put them aside and give them a reality check. Especially Kanye West, you just see you see a hurt individual who don't know how to funnel that hurt into a more positive aspect. He's lashing out at people. He's saying the most derogatory things.
One of the craziest songs.
What I'm gonna say is this. Like we was talking about, and I told you I listen to everything, right? I will say this. He has 2 projects or whatever, right? One is like a newer one where it's like World War III, where he's on a tangent and whatever, and he has a song about his wife leaving him and whatever and how it was made. Not the most flattering. The World War III song, not the most flattering. But on the Bully, that is Kanye West back to rapping. And I know Eric won't listen to it. Bo won't listen to it or whatever.
Nah.
But if you listen to it, I promise you, you would be like, okay, it's in there, still in there. It's still in there somewhere. And we could just get him to consistently get on the right page. I don't never believe nobody's completely lost. You might say people do things all the time and we forgive. So I'm going to be like, I'm not going to just totally shun you, but I'm not going to actually not make you be accountable for what you do too. Like I'm not blind to that, you know what I'm saying? But if he get himself together and can just channel that energy, his music, let his music be his guidance to make better life decisions, it's still in there. Beat making, rapping, it's still in there. That's all I'm gonna say. Anything else you listen to or?
I'm gonna say my guy Boley James is just on a damn tangent.
Okay.
He dropped another project. Was that Friday? Yeah, Friday.
I didn't see that.
Working with another producer. I don't know where he's from. I want to say his name is V Don, but Boley is doing this. He gets with a producer. All the producer gets.
I think that's a dope thing.
12, 13 beats.
Yeah, I think that's a dope thing though.
And just goes at it. He got some joints on this one. And it's just like, it's funny because like, all right, he just dropped the last project. I don't even know it's been a month yet. Maybe maybe a month and a half. And like you're still digesting that. And then it's like, damn, he got this whole new project and it has a totally different sound.
Okay.
It's so it's like, damn, but he's got the joints and it pulls different rhymes out of him too. Pull because he's working with these different producers. He starts to have a different flow because they have a different clock. So like, Boley. I mean, I think he's done dropped either 3 or 4 projects already this year.
So he wouldn't have work as again. So
yeah. So I'm giving props. I want to say Alphabet Highway. Yeah, that's the name of the latest project, Alphabet Highway.
All right. So that's something for y'all to check out. All right. I don't have anything else. You got anything else, Bo?
Nah.
All right. So we're going to go ahead and call this a show. It is on Sunday. So we are going to be starting the work week, or you might start it on tonight. However you do it, I hope it's a great one for you. Nothing but peace, love, and positivity. To the next one. Yep.